Yo guys, this is Rai Tactics and I'm Rai. Welcome to my Monster Hunter World Iceborne series. In this video, I'll teach you how to defeat Diablos using the Charged Blade and show you how to guard point each attack and do Axe Elemental Discharge. Diablos is really annoying to fight. He hits hard and likes to charge at you a lot. Plus, he burrows into the ground or walls for most of his attacks, so you can't even hit him back. I avoided him as much as I could at first because of how much trouble he was. But now that I'm making this guide, I went back and spent a few days getting thrown around by his attacks. And I died a lot, so... First thing first, let's go over a few things you should know and stuff you want to bring to the fight. Diablos is weak to Ice Element and Paralysis, so it's best to use either of them. His weak point is head, chest, and wings. You can break his weak points and also his tail and horns. Traps work, so bring them too if you want. Screamer Pod will force Diablos to surface when he burrow and momentarily stuck him in the ground, so bring tons of them as you will be needing them a lot. Now, let's go over the skills I bring with me. Diablos is weak to ice, so I kept Ice Attack and Critical Eye. Weakness Exploit is at level 1, Focus is at cap, so I can charge my files faster. I have Guard at level 1. It's a good idea to bump it up to level 5 if you're not used to guard pointing attacks, to keep yourself from being knocked around, or leave it so you can get the timing down, or if you're like me, just get hit until you do. Offensive Guard. Mine is at level 2. I want it higher but I cannot fit anymore. Capacity boost for more files so I can do more damage. Protective Polish to keep the sharpness up longer. For survivability, I'm using 2 pieces of Black Veil Hazak gear for the super recovery so I can regenerate past the red part of the health bar. The Charged Blade is low to shit, so being able to heal without having to drink potion or bring the cat along is very helpful. If you cannot get a health recovery, get some defense boost instead. Diablos hit real hard and does attack that hit multiple times, so capping that will reduce the damage you take and hopefully enough to keep you alive until you can chug down a potion to your throat. Okay, that's all about the skill and gear I'm using, and now it's time to hunt Diablos. Before we fight Diablos, grab some slinger ammo as we're gonna start off with a wall slam, then clutch claw him again to tenderize his head, as we're gonna focus on his head first to break his horn, since it reduces the impact of his head swing, which make it easier for to block. Then, wall slam him again after when he gets up and charge up your files for a shield buff. They always get angry after you do this twice, so he'll roar after getting up this time. And now that you know that the roar is coming, you can use it to your advantage. With your fast charge, you can guard point the roar and get your shield buff up that way. Moving right along, he will swing his head at you twice, so make sure to block both swing before you counter with an AED. This broke his horn and staggered him, so I followed up with an SAED for more damage. I got hit though. The animation takes too long and it left me open, but with my gear, I can take a hit and not worry about it, so it's okay. But it turns out that I forgot to hit anything before the quest, meaning if I take another hit, it will be not so okay. Trying to put my weapon away and drink a potion would leave me wide open, and Diablo's attacks are really wide, so I ended up just camping behind my shield for a bit, as I don't want to get carted. Lesson learned. In future, don't go for SAED instead of normal AED when it takes so long that I'll get hit. He's gonna do a burrow attack, and I don't have a Screamer Pod on me, so I'm just gonna sit tight and guard. As soon as he pops out, don't do AED because he always does a follow-up attack. Usually it's a sideways tackle, so I preposition myself close enough to be able to guard point the tackle, also far enough so that my AED will land on any part of his body. And since he's staggered, I'll do another SAED on him again and get hit again. Really? Is there a safe time for me to do a fully SAED on him without getting hit right after? This is the sprint attack. where he charges at you sprinting. You can block it, but you cannot do a counter AED as he usually sprint way past you, while you can hit him during the wind-up. This is a guide, so I don't wanna complicate things unnecessarily. And I missed my guard point. But now he's tired, which means I can finally SAED him in the face and he can't do anything about it. I definitely knew he was going to turn that way and aim there on purpose. I'm really good at this game. Keep it up until he retreats. We've covered almost everything that happened in the fight. Let's go over the last few things he didn't do in this scene. Tail swipe, it hit twice, but if you stand right here, a second swipe will miss you entirely and you can get into a counter AED before he has a chance to do another attack. As for the screamer pods we mentioned before, fire the pod the moment he finished burrowing into the ground. Not like that. If you fire it before he burrowed, it won't do anything. The last attack to watch out for is when Diablos run away to the final area and dive into the sand column. Then he'll either charge out at you like this, or uppercut out from the ground like this. You can't hit him until he pops out, so all you can do is sit behind your shield. And that's pretty much how you handle Diablos attacks. When fighting Diablos for the first time, or any monster really, whenever you're not familiar with it, watch their movement carefully. Look at how they shift and move when they attack, and try to pick out if they have a move to hit when you're behind them or on their side. Attacks might be random, but if you have an idea what to expect, your hunt should go much smoother and be much more cart-free. So watch them carefully and be prepared to get smacked and thrown and chomped on a few times, or if you're me, maybe more than a few times. And that's pretty much on how to beat Diablos using Charge Blade. If you like my video, please leave a like, and if you're interested in my next video, click subscribe to let you know when it comes out. Bye!